Welcome to the third part of our watercolor course. In this lesson, we will move on to drawing circles and ellipses. This will be the penultimate drill exercise where we practice basic shapes while our watercolor paints sadly dry out, unused and forgotten. After these exercises, your hand should start to obey you at least a little. Maybe you just want to start painting big, beautiful pieces already. But first, try one small thing. Take a pencil or a pen and draw a circle. A precise circle. You may be surprised to find that this is not an easy task. That is why I recommend practicing the absolute basics first. The circle and the ellipse are fundamental shapes. I want you to control your brush so well that it won't ruin your painting. Many times you will need to paint a perfect circular shape. The sun, an orange, an apple, a bubble, a clock on the wall, a plate, bicycle wheels. All of these can ruin your watercolor painting if you don't know how to paint something as basic as a circle. The human eye is extremely sensitive to mistakes in geometric shapes like circles and ellipses. The viewer notices the error even before they can describe what is wrong. They simply see that the bicycle wheels look weird, and they won't be focused on your painting anymore. They will only see the mistake. And that is very distracting. Riding the rail. Because you want to paint in watercolor, you need very precise control over your hand. In watercolor, a badly painted circle usually cannot be fixed. That is why, as watercolor artists, we need complete confidence in our hand. When you know you can paint a shape, it reduces stress and fear. Then, the artist can fully focus on their vision. You won't have to worry about whether you can pull it off or hesitate about how to do it. You can focus on color, composition, and expression. You can draw the circles with a compass or download and print the template file. You will find the link in the video description. The size of the circles doesn't matter. The goal of this exercise is to trace the existing circle on the page as accurately as possible with a pen. This exercise is not about developing imagination or planning. You are training your hand to follow a fairly complex path. If it feels difficult, remember the ghosting technique we used in the previous part. First, practice the motion in the air, and only then land the pen on the paper. Of course, the goal here is not to make you draw like a robot. The goal is simply accuracy. It might seem simple to trace a perfect circle, but you might leave a trail that looks like the path of a drunk sailor. In other words, your fingers cannot yet do exactly what you want. This exercise forces them to improve, at least a little. Draw the circles from the smallest to the largest. Small circles are easier. Large circles are a truly difficult task. You can draw a circle in two directions, clockwise or counterclockwise. I recommend training your hand in both directions. You can draw one circle in one direction, then draw the same circle in the opposite direction. That is a harder exercise. If it is too hard, draw all circles in one direction on the first sheet, and then practice the opposite direction on a second sheet. That is a bit easier. After you trace a circle, you can trace the same circle again, several times. This is not about making a pretty picture. You are simply teaching the muscles in your hand the movement you need. Drawing without a template. In the next part, you will draw circles without a template. Use the printed circles first to warm up your hand. You can practice both directions one after another, or draw all circles in one direction first, and then practice the opposite direction on another sheet. Expect that everything will fall apart again. Every circle will have a different shape and a different mistake. Your hand will lead the line in a completely different direction than you want. If you are just starting, you may honestly be surprised by what your hand is doing. Why does it move the stroke in a different direction than you wanted? Why does it draw a potato instead of a circle? Why does it miss the mark where you started? This is perfectly normal. Don't worry, your drawing ability will improve quickly with practice. To master circles, you might need hundreds of hours, but for a basic level, it is enough to do this exercise for a few days in a row. You don't need to drill to perfection. Practice until your hand does at least roughly what you wanted. Perfect work is not required. Perfectionism is a nice thing, but it can also discourage many people from painting. If you paint for joy, you don't need the precision of an academic painter or a professional graphic designer. For us, the circle is simply a shape that shows, without any doubt, whether you control your hand. If you drew wavy lines or ornaments, you could call the inaccuracies your artistic intent. Then you wouldn't be able to judge whether your hand is more precise or just your ability to make excuses. But a circle is a shape you can judge at first glance. Either it is geometrically correct or you still don't control your hand. Tips for circles and other oval shapes. Make sure the curve is smooth and continuous. The point where your pen ends the circle must meet the spot where you started. You don't want a dot, a thick spot, or a crossover there. The final shape should be geometrically correct. We want a circle, at least roughly, not a potato, a pineapple, or a banana. Draw the circle in one continuous stroke. Don't lift the pen or patch the line if possible. The goal is not just to have a circle on paper. The goal is to train your hand to paint accurately, even in uncomfortable positions. As soon as your hand allows it, start speeding up. A fast motion creates a much smoother circle than a slow one. Slow movement records every hesitation and every shake of the hand. Fast movement uses momentum and naturally smooths the curve. Drawing a fast circle requires a fairly confident hand, but it is a skill you can learn in a few hours of practice. Increase speed gradually, from a slow and careful stroke to a faster swing. Ellipses. An ellipse is basically a circle viewed from the side. You will need ellipses in 90% of your painting, so it makes sense to practice them well. If you paint a cup, a plate, a wall clock, a pitcher, a vase, or a bicycle, you are still drawing a circle, just from a side or angled view. If you don't paint a nice ellipse, you will ruin the painting. To paint a glass of water, you already need to know how to draw different ellipses during the sketching stage. They must be geometrically correct enough, otherwise the painting will look wrong. So I recommend making ellipses part of your homework. Make sure they are accurate. The ellipse is a demanding geometric shape. It is hard to draw and hard to judge, but the human eye notices errors immediately. The watercolor brush. When you can control your hand with a pen, do the same exercise with watercolor. We will paint on watercolor paper, so you will need to draw your own guide first. Use a compass or trace a cup to create a reference circle on the paper. Then you will paint over it with a watercolor brush. As always, painting with a brush is several levels harder than drawing with a pen. So don't be strict with yourself. Allow mistakes. It is just an exercise. If the circle doesn't turn out well, it is fine. Paint the next one immediately. At the same time, try to correct the mistake you made before. Paint circles smaller and smaller, and you can also try circles larger than your reference. You will probably notice that if one circle is inaccurate, the next circles will repeat a similar mistake. That is normal. Keep going. As you improve, the number of mistakes will decrease. There is one paradox. Many people feel that the more they drill, the worse they draw or paint. It can feel like the beginning was better, and then it gets worse and worse. So if you feel that you draw worse after this exercise than at the start, that is normal. It doesn't mean you are getting worse. It means you are starting to see the mistakes. You are beginning to understand how a circle should look. And at the same time, you realize that your hand cannot draw it precisely yet. Another factor is fatigue. If you draw circles for an hour, your hand gets tired and your eyes start to wander. Shapes will start to blur together, and the results can get worse. In that case, take a break. Start the next page tomorrow. You don't need many hours a day. A few sheets per day for a few days in a row is enough. When your hand starts doing roughly what you want, the exercise has done its job. Evaluating my own practice. When I look at my own exercises, I honestly hope not too many people will see this video. I didn't do well. Especially brush control is extremely difficult. It would take many more hours of practice. My circles were inaccurate and the line thickness was uneven. Next time, you will practice more complex motor skills. You will train by writing the alphabet. There you will combine everything you learned in the first 3 parts. Your hand will become more precise, steadier, and more confident. And because of that, working precisely with watercolor paints should become much easier. We will show that in the next parts. Thank you for watching this course. If you enjoyed it, subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. See you next time! you.